there lived a boy named Jack. He lived on the farm with his mother, and they were very excluded from the normal circles of economic activity. This cruelty kept them in straits of direness until one day Jack's mother told him to take the family cow and sell it for as much as he could.
Never mind the thousands of gallons of milk they had stolen from her. Damn. Never mind the hours of pleasure their bovine animal companion had provided. Ungrateful. And forget the manure they had appropriated for their garden. She was now just another piece of property to them. Jack, who didn't realize that non-human animals have as many rights as human animals, perhaps even more, did as his mother asked.
On his way to town, Jack met an old magic vegetarian who warned Jack of the dangers of eating beef and dairy products.
Oh, I'm not going to eat this cow,
Said Jack.
I'm going to take her into Thomas Sauer.
But by doing that, you'll just perpetuate the culture of misuse of beef, ignoring the negative impact of the cattle industry on our ecology and the health and social problems that arise for meat consumption. But you look too simple to be able to make this connection, my wife. I will tell you what to do. I will offer you to trade of your cow these 3 magic beans, which have as much protein as the entire cow, but none of the fat or sodium.
Jack thought that Trey Gladdy had took the bean home to his mother. When he told her about the deal he made, she grew very upset.
Beans! Jack, are you kidding me? Beans? What am I gonna do with beans? Oh my God! I want to leave, Jack!
She used to think her son was very consumptuous thinker than a linear thinker, but now she was sure that he was downright differently able. She grabbed the 3 magic beans and threw them out the window in disgust. Later that day, she attended her first support group meeting with mothers of story-built children.
The next morning, Jack stuck his head out of the window to see if the sun had risen in the east again. He was beginning this. But outside the window, the beans
Had grown into huge stalk that reached through the clouds. Because he no longer had a cow to milk in the morning, Jack climbed the beanstalk into the sky.
At the top, above the cloud, he found a huge castle. It was not only big, but it was built at a large than average scale, as if it were the home of someone who had just happened to be a giant. Jack entered the castle and heard a beautiful music wafting through the air. He followed the sound until he found his sword, a golden harp that played music without being touched. Next to this sound actualized harp with a hen sitting on a pile of golden eggs.
Now the prospect of the easy wealth and mindless entertainment availed the Jack's sensibilities. So he picked up and bought the harp and the hen and started to run to the front door. Then he heard the thundering footsteps. And who voice that said, I smell the blood of an English person. I would like to learn about his culture and views on life, and share my own perspectives in an open and generous way.
Fortunately, Jack was too afraid to agree to accept the offer of the culture interchange. It's only a trick, thought Jack. Besides, we're giant. Besides, we gotta get these. He must have stolen them from somewhere else. So, oh, hey, that's mine. He must have stolen them from somewhere else, so I have every right to take them. His frontal justification remarkable over someone with outstanding mental resources revealed a terrible colossalness to the giant personal rights. Jack apparently was a complete sizes who thought that all giants were clumsy, knowledge impaired, and expendable.
When the giant saw Jack with the magic harp in hand, he asked, "Why are you taking what belongs to me?"
Jack, distributing land, my friend. I am merely placing them in my stewardship so they can be properly managed and brought to their fullest extent. Pardon my bluntness, but you giants are too simple in hand and don't know how to manage your resources properly. Until the
Jeff held his breath to see if the bluff would save his skin. The giant sighed heavily and said,
Yes, you're right. We giants do use our resources foolishly. Why can't we ever discover a new beanstalk before we get so excited and pick away at it so much that we pull the poor thing on the ground?
Jack's heart sank. He turned and looked out the front door of the castle. Sure enough, the giant had destroyed his beanstalk. Jack grew frightened and cried, "Now I'm trapped here in a cloud with you forever."
the giant said,
Don't worry, my little friend. We're strict vegetarians up here, and there are always plenty of beans to eat. And besides, you won't be alone here. 13 other men of your size have already climbed up Beanstalk to visit us and stayed.
So Jack resigned himself to the fate as a member of the giant's commune. He didn't miss his mother or the farm much. They don't need you. Because up in the sky there was less work to do and more than enough to eat. And he gradually learned not to judge people based on their size ever again, except those who are shorter than he.
Woo!